Hi, I'm Tom Edwards, and welcome to this video on Generation Z and the camera as the next marketing platform. So, as I evaluate and look at the future state and look at emerging trends and its impact on behavior and technology, I like to look at it through the lens of Empower, Exponential, and Enhanced, or E-3. Empower is all about how technology empowers our lives and consumers. Exponential is about the role that intelligent systems and artificial intelligence are going to play in redefining experience. And Enhanced is all about that connection between physical and digital reality. So today, we're going to look at Gen Z. So these are my three kids. I've got a 15, a 13, and a 10-year-old. And they're part of the first mobile-first generation. They learned to swipe before they learned to speak. And Gen Z was born between 1996 and 2010. The interesting thing to consider as marketers is that Gen Z is going to represent 40% of consumers by the year 2020. And their expectations and behaviors are going to have a significant impact on how technology, solutions, and experiences are going to evolve. So as we think about their behaviors, Gen Z spends 2.5 hours a day with on-demand content. There's an idea or an expectation of control over their entertainment experiences. So they also spend 1.5 hours a day gaming. So that's my son Gavin in the middle there. He's 15. He's an aspiring esports athlete. He always jokes with us that esports is essentially athletics of the mind. And that's also my 10-year-old down there on the end. But the key thing to consider here is that there's a strong correlation between the on-demand content as well as gaming with the rise of esports. We've got 300 million people across the globe watching esports, which is competitive gaming. You also look at the role that music plays with Generation Z. So music consumes about 51 minutes a day. And in my research, it also shows that music is one of the primary use cases whenever Gen Z interacts with voice-based speakers and assistants. Think about Alexa voice services or think about Google Assistant. So one of the key things to consider, though, is fundamentally how Generation Z has used and transformed the way in which we view the camera. So for the longest time, the camera was really viewed around capture. We took what was 1.3 trillion photos in 2017. And for most of us, it's about capturing and saving of photos. That's the primary use. But for Generation Z, they've shifted that model. It's moved beyond capture and really gone towards communication. And it's shifted. With each generation, we saw the writing of letters, usage of phones, texting, and now with Generation Z, it's FaceTime. And the camera is essentially replacing previous communication methods. So what ends up happening now is that Gen Z begins to view the camera as a home screen. They can view the camera as both a live camera, to where they can use it in real time and overlay it with augmented reality lenses. They also look at it from the perspective of post-capture. So after they take a picture, how they can customize, filter. It's just become the primary way in which they communicate with their friends. So Gen Z is not only adept at consuming content, they're also avid creators. And so research shows that 69% of them view the camera as a platform to create from. 66% of them have their own YouTube channels as well. So understanding how to build basically marketing solutions that align with Gen Z, it's less about positioning and posting up of branded content. And it's really all about enabling the creation and creativity of Gen Z through different types of experiences that can be driven through the camera. For example, through augmented reality. So what's really interesting is that 83% of Gen Z has played with some form of augmented reality filter. And some of the recent stats from Snap show that 70 million individuals are using AR features daily on Snapchat. They're spending minutes a day with filters, and they're also creating additional content or snaps from those AR filters that are shared out, to the tune of a couple 100 million of them that are actually being shared. And this is incredibly important because as the camera continues to evolve, even evolving beyond communication, you start looking at the role that the camera can play beyond that. You look at it in terms of exploration. You look at what happened with Pokemon Go. You have 50 million people now that are using their camera as a lens to the world and interacting and bridging physical and digital. This becomes a new way for Gen Z to basically look at the world around them as well as entertain themselves. So you're also seeing things like augmented reality art that you're able to place in a real location. So again, using the camera as it evolves to also explore their world. So the next area we're going to look at is, I mentioned previously about the eCare3 framework. There is Empower, there's Exponential, and there's Enhanced. So exponential is really tied to the role that artificial intelligence is going to play. And one facet of AI is tied to computer vision. Computer vision is essentially where the systems can basically look at and pull out high-dimensional aspects of your environment, basically giving you context of what's happening within your environment to help drive some form of decisioning. And so computer vision is actually going to play a role moving forward to essentially making the camera more intelligent. So as you kind of evolve from capture and communication and understanding your world around you, it then really becomes about enhancing your lives through intelligent systems. And for Gen Z, that's going to happen through the camera. So what ends up happening here is you're able to apply and understand context from the environment. That's then paired with a virtual assistant who can help drive the intelligence factor or adding intelligence into what you're seeing visually. So again, it's continuing to move beyond capture to communication to kind of exploration and now to enhancing your lives. And we as marketers have to really consider and understand the impact that this is going to have. So in a lot of ways, the camera is going to be the bridge to the next marketing platform. As we continue to evolve our approach and as these behaviors and the technology continues to drive forward, we're moving to a time where we're stair-stepping. The camera is going to lead to behaviors and expectations that then transition into what's called multimodal forms of communication, moving beyond desktop, mobile, getting into voice, vision, and touch. And that's a lot of what I cover in the eCare3 video series that you can find here on the YouTube channel or on my blog at blackfin360.com. All right. So that once again is the eCare3 framework. I hope you enjoyed the discussion around Gen Z and the evolution of the camera as a marketing platform. As always, I'm Tom Edwards, and I'll see you next time.